So, hello, and welcome back for another adventure in the cookie jar. Today we are starting the cinnamon roll murder with the first recipe called cinnamon rolls. There is a lot of separate ingredients. They do need 3 to 4 hours total to make them. So do not preheat oven. This dough needs to rise before baking. It says from start to finish, these cinnamon rolls will take about 3.5 to 4 hours before they're ready to eat. Your work time is only about 30 minutes. There's a lot of downtime while you wait for the dough to rise and to bake. So for the dough, you're going to want half a cup of hot coffee, half a cup of whole milk, 1 tablespoon of white sugar, 1 packet of dry active yeast, 1/4 cup of salted butter, half a stick, 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil, 1 large egg, 1 teaspoon of salt. You're going to want an additional 1/4 cup of white sugar. And it says, yes, that's in addition to the sugar above. 3 to 3.5 cups of all-purpose flour. For the filling, you're going to want half a cup, 1 stick of butter, 1 tablespoon of ground cinnamon, 3/4 cup of white sugar, and 1 cup of semi-sweet chocolate chips. Then for the pan, you're going to want 2 tablespoons of softened butter, 2 tablespoons of white sugar, and 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. For the icing, you're going to want 1 cup of powdered sugar, 1 tablespoon of salted butter melted, 1 tablespoon of milk, and half a teaspoon of vanilla. After that, it gets into the instructions and how to make the dough, and it's about 8 pages of recipe. But we have everything ready, so let's get started. This is all of the moving parts we're going to need for the cinnamon rolls, the filling, the pan, and the icing. So, like I said, with this recipe being a lot, you'll probably see me flipping back and forth in the book a lot. So, it says, to start, you're going to take your coffee, and you're going to combine that with your half a cup of milk. Microwave this on high for 30 seconds. We're going to stir in our tablespoon of sugar. Now we're going to pour off half a cup. And we are going to add our yeast into that one. It does say to gently stir it in. We're going to let that sit. Now it says to melt the butter in another container for about 30 seconds and then add the oil. Once our butter is melted, we're going to add in the oil. That will also be set aside. So we're going to take our egg, the salt, and the sugar. I'm going to beat those together. Now to this, we are going to add the non-yeasted coffee milk. When your butter and your oil is cooled off, that will be the next thing added in. So we're slowly going to add this in. So we're going to add 1.5 cups of flour. Now we're going to add our yeast mixture, which is very puffy. I love the smell of yeast. That doughiness always smells so good. Now we're going to stir this in gently, it says. Now we're going to add another 1/2 cup of flour, stirring with each 1/2 cup addition. This is where the messy part comes in. Take a bowl, take our dough, pop it in. It mentions covering it with foil. I'm just going to spray the lid of my bowl and pop it up there. So it says to come back in an hour to an hour and a half. So we will see you then. We release the kraken. We floured our board, and it says to flour the top, then to punch it down. We'll try to cover it just a little bit more, just because I don't want any chance of it sticking. Now we're going to roll this out to 9 by 13. I am never good at this part. It's big, it's a rectangle, I'm going with it. Now, it says if you forgot to take out the butter earlier, pop it in the microwave for 30 seconds. Now, you're going to mix the white sugar with the cinnamon. The last part of the filling is the chocolate chips, and it just says to sprinkle them on as evenly as you can. Alright, starting from this side, roll that way. I am never good at this part. It's always loose, always never nice and tight. We're going to take our pan. It says to spread 2 tablespoons of butter in the bottom of this one. Two tablespoons of sugar. And a teaspoon of cinnamon. So now we want 12 slices for this. Which means we want 6 out of each half. This is what our loaves look right now. We're going to cover them up again and give them 45 minutes. 45 minutes is up. The oven is preheated to 350. We're going to bake them for 30 minutes. This is what we pulled out of the oven, and now we will make the icing while they cool off a little bit. So, the icing is pretty simple. It's one of those icings where if you have too little, add some more. If it's not runny enough, add more powdered sugar. If it's too stiff, add more milk. That's the vanilla, the milk, and the melted butter. And we're just going to whisk that together or use a fork to combine it. It definitely looks like I'm going to need more milk. Right, and it does say to put this on while it's hot so it'll melt into the crevices. Just ignore the part where I dropped a bowl in them. They look really good. So these are fresh out of the oven, ooey gooey hot. There's cinnamon, there's sugar, there's chocolate, there's yeasty bread dough. What isn't there to love about a cinnamon roll? Next week we are doing something called a Cinco de Cacao cookie. It is chocolate and avocado cookie. Very strange combination. If you are interested in seeing those, join us next week. I hope you all have a good one. Bye.